Hare Krishna. So today's topic is Srila Prabhupada, is it not? We are going to discuss on Srila Prabhupada. I am not qualified to glorify Srila Prabhupada, but I will try my best. It is for my own purification. It is purification for everyone. So we'll try, because his biography is very, it's very long, very long. So many pastimes are there, and within 1 hour we cannot elaborate on anything. But at least the essential points from his appearance to his departure, whatever achievement he has achieved. So these things, essential points, we can try to explain. So Prabhupada was born in Kolkata. His name was Abhay Charan De on 1st September 1896. He was born in Kolkata, India. And his father's name was Gaur Mohan De, a cloth merchant, and mother's name was Rajani Devi. So after his birth, his father appointed an astrologer to write horoscope. So in that horoscope, there was a very interesting prediction. When the child reaches the age of 70, he would cross the ocean, become a great exponent of religion, and open 108 temples. So this was written in his horoscope. And we see that every word of this sentence, which is written in the horoscope, every word actually became true. In his life, when he was 70 years old, he crossed the ocean and he established 108 temples. So whatever is written in his horoscope, it was implemented. So you see how that in those days, even the horoscope writer, the astrologer, they are very expert by calculating the, what is called, constellation of stars. They could predict. And Abhay Charan's father was also a great Vaishnava. He was a pure Vaishnava. Abhay Charan's father, he was a pure Vaishnava. He had a cloth shop at Harrison Road. I think at present it is called Mahatma Gandhi Road. So it was a very nice location, and he could become millionaire by selling clothes. But he was not interested in cloth business. He used to go there and he used to sell 1 or 2 cloths. Then he will close the shop and he will come back. He will run back to his house for reading Chaitanya Charita. His heart was crying for reading Chaitanya Charita. He was not interested at all in selling cloths. He was not interested in cloth business. Anyway, he would think that by selling 2 cloths, I can manage my family expenditures. I can purchase rice and milk. So it is not necessary to stay whole day, long time in the cloth shop. It was not necessary. So he would run, after selling 1 or 2 cloths, he would run back to his house for reading Chaitanya Charita. And when Abhay Charan was a small child, Gaur Mohan De would take him to the local temple of Radha Govindaji. Still that temple is there, Radha Govindaji temple. And Abhay Charan's father, he would take him to Radha Govindaji temple. And Abhay Charan, although he was a small child, he would absorb in having darshan of Radha Govindaji for hours. For hours he would speak to the deities, and he was completely enamored by the beauty of Radha Govindaji. He was remembering, in remembrance he told, the deity was so beautiful with his slanted eyes, Srila Prabhupada calls. His childhood experience of having darshan of Radha Govindaji. He was speaking with Radha Govindaji. My dear Radha Govindaji, people say you are stone, you are made of stone. But how is it? How people think you to be a stone? You are so beautiful, so nice. The rascal, they think that you are made of stone. So in this way, Prabhupada was speaking with the deity. And when he was little grown up, he performed Ratha Jatra festival. He asked his father at the age of 6. He asked his father to make one chariot imitating the chariot of Jagannath Puri. So his father cooperated. His father made a cart according to the design of Puri cart, Puri Ratha Jatra. So Abhay Charan, as a small child in 1901, Abhay Charan performed his first Ratha Jatra as a small child. And as a small child, he was leading the ceremony. He engaged all the Matajis, local Matajis, and all the, local people to serve Jagannath. Local Matajis are cooking puris and halwas and fried brinjal. So in this way, he engaged all the local Matajis and people, gentlemen, all are engaged by this small child to celebrate Ratha Jatra festival. And when he was 6 years old, he asked his father to give him a deity, Radha Govinda deity. So then his father purchased. His father purchased a small deity of Radha Govinda, and Abhay Charan, as a small child, he was so sincere and serious that he would offer foodstuff to Radha Govinda deity every day. Whatever he would eat, he would offer first to his Radha Govinda deity, and every day he would offer a ghee lamp. You can imagine, as a small child, he was so serious. But every day he would offer ghee lamp, and every day at night he would make them sleep, put them in rest. His deity, he will put them in rest. So in this way, from his childhood, he was a very sincere devotee. And by birth, he got his father a pure Vaishnava. Pure Vaishnava. Gaur Mahamdev was a pure Vaishnava. So in this way, Abhay Charan, first time he got admitted in school, but in the beginning he was not interested in studying. He was not interested to go to school. So his mother became so much worried, but father was amused. Oh, my child doesn't like to go to school. Father was not angry. But anyway, they arranged one servant to take him to school every day. And very quickly, Abhay Charan, he completed his school study. And when he was 22 years old, he completed his college study also. From Scottish Church College, he completed study, his graduation. Although he did not accept the degree, because at the time he joined Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation movement, and everybody was rejecting whatever is coming from the British government, cloth, commodities, anything. If it is from British, those who are followers of Mahatma Gandhi, they would reject all these things. So Abhay Charan rejected his graduation degree, BA degree. Although he got His name was announced, but he rejected. And when he was 22 years old, his father, gave him, he arranged his marriage at the age of 22. His wife was at that time 11 years old. In those days, it was common. In very early age, they would get married. So Abhay Charan, when he was 22 years old, he got married with Radharani Datta, who was only 11 years old. But because he did not accept the degree given by British school, British college, Scottish Church College, so his father was a little worried that now he is married, how he will maintain his family, because he needs some job, and without degree, without graduation degree, Britishers will not give him job. So his father was a little worried. The same school, same college, Scottish Church College, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bosu was 1 year senior to Srila Prabhupada. He was in the upper class. Srila Prabhupada was in the lower class, and he was 1 year upper Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Although Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was influential from that time, but still Srila Prabhupada did not follow him. He followed Mahatma Gandhi. As political leader, Srila Prabhupada followed Mahatma Gandhi. But anyway, so his father was a little worried that my son has not accepted the degree given by British government. So what will be his future? How will he maintain his family? In the meantime, he had 3 sons, 2 daughters, 5 children. So how Abhay Charan will maintain his family, his wife, his children? So he needs a job. So thinking this, Gaur Mohan De, Abhay Charan's father, he met his friend, one of his best friend, Kartik Chandra Bose. Kartik Chandra Bose was a surgeon, and he had his own industry of producing medicine, medical industry. So Gaur Mohan De met his friend Kartik Chandra Bose and told, you see, my son has rejected the degree given by British Scottish Church College. So I am a little worried that how he will maintain his family, because he needs a job, and without degree, how can he get a job? So Kartik Chandra Bose told, don't worry, you are my best friend, and I know Abhay Charan is a very honest boy. I'll appoint him as manager of my Bose laboratory. So then he was immediately appointed by Kartik Chandra Bose as the manager, industry manager of Bose laboratory. So other employees were a little upset, because some of them were working for even 40 years, 30 years, 40 years. They are working in the same farm, they are working in the same industry for 40 years. And they hoped that we shall get the post of manager. But suddenly a young boy came from sky, and he got the post of manager. So they are a little upset. And they finally argued with Kartik Chandra Bose, why you have appointed this new small boy, young boy? We are working in your industry for 40 years, but you did not appoint us as manager. You appointed a newcomer as a manager. So Kartik Chandra Bose replied, manager means he will deal with my all money affairs, money matter. And I cannot have faith in you. I can have full faith in Abhay, because I know him, I know his father, I know his family background. So I can have full faith to Abhay Charan as my own son. That's why I have appointed him as manager of my industry. So in this way, he was appointed, and in the beginning, although all the workers, all the old employees of the industry were little upset, but by the sweet behavior and expert management of Abhay Charan, gradually they all became convinced that he is a qualified manager. And they surrendered to him. All the employees surrendered to Abhay Charan, and they became friendly. So in this way, he continued the service as the manager of Bosch Industry. Then one day, it is in 1922, one of his friends, Naren Malik, came to meet Abhay Charan and told him that I heard that in Ultudanga, a great sage has come. He is the founder of Gauriya Math, and I heard that he is a very great saint. So Abhay Charan replied, no, I don't have faith in any saint because my father would invite so many saints. I have seen some of them are ganja smoker, some of them they are not following any regulatory principles. So I don't have faith in them. Then Naren Malik replied, no, this sadhu I heard is a very great saint. At least you come and see him, and if you certify, because you are our natural leader. Abhay Charan was leader from childhood. So he was leader in his youth. He was leader of his all friends. So the friends told, as you are our leader, if you certify that Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is now preaching in Ultudanga, if you certify that he is a really saintly person, is a great saint, then we will accept. Otherwise, we will not accept. So that much faith they had in Abhay Charan. So on request of them, some of the friends, including Naren Malik, so finally Abhay Charan agreed to meet Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Ultudanga. So when he went to see Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, naturally they offered obeisances. And before they got up, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he told that you are young boys, educated young boys, why don't you preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings throughout the world in English language? So then Abhay Charan, first time he could not understand whom Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was targeting. But later on, he understood, oh, he is asking me directly and pointing the finger. You are educated boy. Why you are not preaching teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the world? Then Abhay Charan immediately wanted to test Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He told, Abhay Charan told, now India is, dependent under British rule. Who will listen to our Mahaprabhu's message? Who will listen to our preaching? Because India is not independent. So first of all, because he was influenced by Mahatma Gandhi, first of all, India has to become independent. Then we can preach Mahaprabhu's gospel, we can preach Mahaprabhu's message throughout the world. Now India is dependent on British rule and nobody will listen to us. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, no, you are wrong. Mahaprabhu's message is so important that it cannot wait for anything material. Any material condition cannot stop Mahaprabhu's message. It is so important. It is most important. Just like when a train runs, the taxi can wait. It is not that for a taxi, train will wait. It never happens because a taxi will go, a train should wait. Train will never wait. Train will run, but taxi will wait. Similarly, all the political conditions, social conditions, they will wait. But Mahaprabhu's message will run as train. Nothing can stop it. It is so important. It is very, very important. So in this way, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, was preaching to Abhay Charan Dev, and he was convinced. Asking few questions, he was completely convinced. Yes, this great man is really, his argument is acceptable. And he understood that this is really great man, because when he saw the effulgence emanating from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's body and face, Then he understood that this is a great personality. And later on, Naran Malik and other friends asked him, what is your opinion about this saint? Then Abhay Charan replied, Mahaprabhu's message in an expert hand now. On that night, Abhay Charan accepted his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as his spiritual master. Although he did not take formal initiation that time, formal initiation he took after about 11 years. At the end of 1932, he took formal initiation in Allahabad. Before that, he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur about dozens of times. He went to Vrindavan. One day, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was giving class, Bhagavad discourse. And generally he would speak for 3 hours, 4 hours. Not like us. We generally speak maximum 1 hour, 45 minutes. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would speak for 3-4 hours continuously. So even his sannyasi disciples would become little irritated and they sometimes leave the discourse. So Abhay Charan was sitting constantly hearing his Guru Maharaj's lecture before initiation. So he was constantly sitting for 4 hours and listening his divine grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's speech with rapt attention. So then his sannyasi disciples came back. His divine grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked, where did you go? So they said, we went to see Sheshashayi Vishnu. In Vrindavan, there is a Vishnu called Sheshashayi Vishnu. So we went to see that Sheshashayi Vishnu. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur became upset. No, when your Guru Maharaj is speaking, you should sit and listen to your Guru Maharaj. Sheshashayi Vishnu you can see other time, not at the time of when your Guru Maharaj is speaking. But he observed that Abhay Charan was sitting constantly. He did not go for sightseeing. He had zero interest in sightseeing. He was interested to listen from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur with rapt attention. So later on, when in Allahabad, some of his god brothers suggested that this Abhay Charan wants to get initiation from you. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur replied, yes, I'll give him initiation. He likes to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So that means in Vrindavan, Abhay Charan was sitting 4 hours to listen Srimad Bhagavatam from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And that conquered the heart of Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he initiated him together simultaneously, Harinam initiation and Brahmin initiation. Simultaneously it was offered. Rarely Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would give these two initiations together. But in case of Abhay Charan, he initiated him with Harinam Diksha and Brahman Diksha with first and second initiation. So he did not get much chance. Abhay Charan did not get much chance to meet his Guru Maharaj. But whenever he got chance, he would meet him. Whenever there is little chance, he would meet him. His sannyasi god brothers would criticize that we are afraid to meet our Guru Maharaj. But you run very quickly to see him, to meet him, to talk to him. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Where angels are afraid to tread, fools are running there. His god brother used to comment. So Abhay Charan would think, well, I may be a fool, but that is the way I am. My Guru Maharaj was always very, very affectionate to me. So this was his feeling. And in 1935, there was a Vyasa Puja ceremony in Mumbai temple. Vyasa Puja of His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So at that time, Abhay Charan attended that Vyasa Puja ceremony with his other god brothers in Bombay. And he read out a very nice poetry written by Abhay Charan. Absolutely sentient, thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity, thou hast removed. So this poem was very much liked by His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. After hearing that poem, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur commented Whatever Abhay Charan writes, published in Harmonist, The Harmonist. At that time, there was an English magazine published by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, The Harmonist. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur commented, whatever is written by Abhay Charan, publish it immediately. So then, Abhay Charan met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Radhakund, in a lonely place. Abhay Charan was talking to his Guru Maharaj. So then, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada told to Abhay Charan, very soon there will be fire in Bagbajar Gauriya Math, because the God brothers, the Sannyasi God brothers and other God brothers are quarreling. Who will occupy which room? Who will occupy this room? Who will occupy that room? Even the Sannyasis are quarreling. So very soon there will be fire in Gauriya Math. If they are quarreling in my presence, if I leave my body after my departure, what will happen? I don't know. I am sure there will be fire. So now I think that I should pluck all the marbles from Bagbajar Gauriya Math and sell these marbles to print books. My dear Abhay, if you have any money, print books. I have desire to print books. So I think I can sell all these marbles from Bagbajar Gauriya Math. And I can use this money for printing books. So Abhay Charan took this instruction as his heart and soul, that yes, my Guru Maharaj likes to print books. So if I can manage money, I will print books. So that was the instruction he received in Radhakund. Then, before the departure of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Abhay Charan wrote a letter 1 month before his departure. Abhay Charan wrote a letter to his Guru Maharaj, that your Sannyasi disciples and other disciples are serving you so nicely, but I am so incapable. I cannot do anything for you. His God brothers would call him Pacha Grihastha. Pacha means rotten. Prabhupada, our Abhay Charan's God brother, would call him Pacha Grihastha, rotten Grihastha. So, Abhay Charan was very humble. He wrote to his Guru Maharaj, really I cannot do anything for you. Is there any way, any particular service that I can render? Then, after 2 weeks, he received the reply. After 2 weeks, he received the reply. I am fully, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote back, I am fully confident that you can explain in English our thoughts and arguments to the people who are not conversant with the languages Bengali and Hindi. This will do much good to yourself as well as your audience. I have every hope that you can turn yourself into a very good English preacher. So this was the first instruction on his first meeting, and this is the last instruction before his departure. Before Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur departed from this planet, this was his last instruction. After 2 weeks, he received the news that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has left this world. So he was crying. Our Abhay Charan was crying like anything. So in this way, he got the final order that you go to the West and preach in English language throughout the world. So this was the final order, and this was the first order, in first meeting in Ultu Danga. So after some time, after the departure of his Guru Maharaj, all the Sannyasi and senior God brothers of Gauriya Math offered a special honor to Abhay Charan, because they understood that he is really a great scholar, a great devotee. So they offered him Bhakti Vedanta title. All the senior God brothers of Gauriya Math offered our Abhay Charan a special title, Bhakti Vedanta. So then after 11 years, he started publishing Back to Godhead magazine in English. If you want to memorize Abhay Charan's life biography, 11 years gap is one very important technique to remember his biography. In 22, 1922, he first met his Guru Maharaj in Ultodanga. After 11 years, he got initiation. After 11 years, 1944, he started publishing Back to Godhead magazine. And after 11 years, he took Vanaprasth. And after 11 years, 66, he established ISKCON. And after 11 years, 1977, he left the body from this planet. In this way, every 11 years gap, there is some remarkable point in his life journey. Anyway, so he started publishing in 1944. He started publishing Back to Godhead magazine, and at that time there was also before in 1947 India got independence from the British. And at that time, prior to independence, there was Hindu-Muslim fighting, and Prabhupada witnessed all this fighting, all this riot, quarrel between Hindu and Muslim. And Prabhupada commented, as long as there is this planet, until the day of annihilation, until the day of Pralay, this Hindu-Muslim riot, between or quarrel between Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, this will continue. Because as long as this bodily concept is there, that I am Hindu, I am Muslim, I am Christian, this fight will continue up to the day of Pralay, up to the day of annihilation. So, Prabhupada commented, I have seen that Hindus and Muslims are fighting and they killed each other. Very, ferocious riot held in Kolkata. So at that time, the municipal people would come next day, collect all the dead bodies. They could not identify who is Hindu and who is Muslim. On 7th December 1947, Abhay Charan wrote a letter to Mahatma Gandhi, and he told, my dear Gandhiji, I am your unknown friend. Please resign from active politics. Otherwise, you have to die like Mussolini. You have to die like Hitler. Like this, he was writing to Mahatma Gandhi. So after some days, Mahatma Gandhi never replied to his letter. But after some days, Mahatma Gandhi was killed, assassinated by Nathuram Godse. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada's statement became like a prophecy, became like a prediction. Then Abhay Charan, because his business was not running well, he tried his best. It was written in his horoscope that he will become rich like Tata Birla, he will become millionaire. But somehow or other he could not understand that in horoscope it is written that I will become millionaire, but it is not happening. Although he started medicine business, he left Kartik Chandra Bose's service and he started his own medical industry. And he started producing medicine and selling medicine in different places of India. He opened a medical center in Allahabad. But all of his efforts are failing, one by one, failing. In one medical center, there was fire. Another center, the manager ran away with money. In this way, Abhay Charan's business life was a failure. Then he thought, he always, as a devotee, he thought positively. Krishna says, if I bestow special mercy on somebody, I steal his property, material properties. So Abhay Charan took it as a positive sign. But his relatives did not like it. But you cannot earn money, you are a failure grihastha. You cannot maintain your wife and children properly. So they are a little upset. But Prabhupada did not mind. He left his family life, you know the story. One day his wife sold one manuscript of Srimad Bhagavatam, and Prabhupada was asking, where is my manuscript? Then wife told, I sold it to the hawker for purchasing some tea leaves, some tea. So Prabhupada was so upset. The house is so inauspicious that my wife is selling my handwritten book. Already some Agarwal agreed to print it. to bear the expenditure for printing Srimad Bhagavatam. He was ready, but manuscript was missing. So Prabhupada was so upset. Then he told, you want tea or me? So then wife replied, I want tea. So at that time, Prabhupada said, okay, goodbye. So Prabhupada, he left his house and went to Jhansi. And in Jhansi, he was trying his best. He got a very big building in Jhansi in the beginning. But the governor of Jhansi, his wife, governor's wife, she became a little interested to occupy the building. And as she was powerful, as a wife of governor, she told, I want this building. I want to open some ladies club in the building. So Prabhupada was helpless. Nobody could help him against governor's wife. So he gave up that building and he left Jhansi. And at that time in Jhansi, he initiated one devotee named Acharya Das. Only one disciple. Before leaving India, he initiated one disciple and he tried to build one temple in Jhansi. That was also a failure. And one disciple only he initiated, Acharya Prabhakar. So then, after struggling for some days, he went to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, in Bangshi Gopinath temple. In Bangshi Gopinath temple, he stayed there for some days. And every day from Vrindavan, he was going to Delhi. He was still publishing his Back to Godhead magazine and he was writing books constantly. At that time, he was begging from door to door for his livelihood, for his food. He was doing Madhupuri for some days because he had no income. And whatever little money he could manage, with that he would print Back to Godhead magazine and he would also write articles and books. He started his writing from Bangshi Gopinath temple. So at that time, every day he would visit Delhi. He would sell some Back to Godhead magazine. He would do his printing work and publishing work, and he would come back to Vrindavan every day, every night. Every morning he would go to Delhi. Every night he would come back at the age of almost 70. At the time he was 69 years old. So he was doing so much hard work in that old days. Every day going to Delhi. At that time, 50 degrees centigrade, the heat of Delhi and Vrindavan, both. Vrindavan also a hot place in summer. So Prabhupada, our Abhay would go to Delhi and come back to Vrindavan every day. After some time, he shifted to Radha Damodar temple in the city of Vrindavan. And there also he was doing Madhupuri. And he asked his friends that instead of giving me rice or dal, you give me paper and pen. Because Prabhupada was not so much worried for his food. He knew that food will come somehow. But he was worried to write about Krishna. So he would beg for paper and pen. And many of his friends would donate him paper and pen. And in the Radha Damodar temple itself, he started writing the masterpiece of his life, Srimad Bhagavatam, which includes 18,000 verses. He started to write English translation of that great book in Radha Damodar temple. And in Radha Damodar temple, he wrote a famous bhajan there, Vrindavan bhajan. A very nice bhajan. If I explain all these things, it will take time. I cannot finish in time. So he was writing about his life that now I don't have any money. So my relatives, they rejected me. Dukkha pai, hashi pai. I sometimes feel unhappy, sometimes I smile. Prakritir Nagnarup Dakali Sri Krishna. My dear Krishna, you have shown me the naked form of this material world. So in this way, Prabhupada wrote Vrindavan Bhajan very nicely. And he started translating Srimad Bhagavatam and also writing some small books, some small articles. For some time, he could not continue printing Back to Godhead because money went out. Money was not there. So his friend the printer told him only on the basis of friendship, I cannot continue printing your back to Godhead. Only on the basis of friendship. Money is needed. So it was stopped for some days. Printing was stopped for some days. And at that time, he had some dream from his spiritual master. That same dream he had when he was a Grihastha also. At the time of when he was Grihastha also, his spiritual master would appear in his dream and tell him, now you take sannyas, time is ripened. And the same dream he had in, which dream he had in his household life, same dream he had in Vrindavan many times, repeatedly. Many nights he would have that dream. His divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur will come to him and tell, take sannyas, time is ripened now, go to the west, time is ripened now. Now if you go, you will see how very easily the whole world will become Krishna conscious. So you please take sannyas. One day he saw in dream, his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has come and hold Srila Prabhupada, our Abhay Charan's hand, and started pulling him on the surface of the ocean, surface of Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean, started pulling him, come, take sannyas and go to the west. So after experiencing that dream, after having that dream, our Abhay Charan became struck with emotion. Oh, my Guru Maharaj wants me to take sannyas immediately. So then he met Bhakti Pragya Keshav Maharaj in Mathura, one of his senior godbrother, disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he asked him, you take sannyas. Bhakti Pragya Keshav Maharaj from Mathura. He asked him, you take sannyas. He was Prabhupada's senior godbrother. So then Prabhupada agreed, our Abhay Charan agreed, and he took sannyas from Bhakti Pragya Keshav Maharaj in Mathura. I think it is 1959. And then he was living in Vrindavan, sometimes doing Madhupuri. Before that, for some times he also lived in Gauriya Math. But some of his listener, those who are listening his Bhagavatam class regularly, some of them wanted to take initiation from Prabhupada. Prabhupada told, yes, I'll give you initiation. But there was an objection from Gauriya Math that you cannot give initiation staying in Gauriya Math. So then Prabhupada thought, okay, I have to do my own. So then he came to Vrindavan and he was staying in Radha Damodar temple. Then from Radha Damodar temple, he published his first book, Easy Journey to Other Planet. And very soon he completed his first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam, printed with the help of Hanuman Prasad Poddar, the owner of Gita Press, Gorakhpur. He helped Prabhupada for printing his first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimati Murarji helped him for printing the second volume. In this way, within 2 years, he completed printing the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in 3 volumes. First canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it took 2 years for him to complete writing and printing. He actually included all information in summary in these 3 volumes. The whole information of Bhagavatam was summarized and put into these 3 volumes. So in this way, he thought, now I have completed my Srimad Bhagavatam first canto. I think now I can go to America, and my Guru Maharaj is appearing in my dream every time and is instructing me to go to America, take sannyas. So now I took sannyas. Now I have some preparation. I have some books, Easy Journey to Other Planet and 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. And not only that, he printed another book, Light of Bhagavatam, and he put some Japanese painting in that book, and he sent 1 copy to Japan. In this way, although he was staying in Radha Damodar temple in a very humble way, in a very humble room, he did not have any running water there. He would take bath in tubewell. He would cook there in the same room, sleep there in the same room, write there in the same room. So it was a very humble residence. Still today, if you go to Vrindavan, in Radha Damodar temple, that room is still there. So then from Radha Damodar temple, one day he met one businessman in Vrindavan, Mr. Agarwal. So he told, I want to go to West, to America, because my Guru Maharaj wants me to go there to preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message. So can you kindly give me some guideline, how can I go? So then Mr. Agarwal was a very pious man. He told, no problem, my son is staying in Butler in America. So I'll ask him to give you a sponsorship letter. So then he asked his son to send a sponsorship letter for A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So at that time he sent a letter of sponsorship, and Minister of External Affairs of India offered him no objection certificate. In the beginning, they were not giving. You are an old man, you cannot go to America now. But by Krishna's mercy, when he managed the sponsorship certificate from Mr. Agarwal from America, then Minister of External Affairs and Minister of External Affairs, they have granted him a no objection certificate. So he was mentally ready to go to America. Actually, he knew Srimati Morarji for long back. When he was a Grihastha, at that time, one day, Srila Prabhupada visited Kurukshetra, and he was sitting under a banyan tree, where Srimati Morarji was also sitting beside. So Srimati Morarji asked him, where are you from? So at that time, he was a Grihastha. He told, I am from Kolkata. My name is Abhay De. So then Srimati Morarji had little discussion with him. So Prabhupada said, I like to read Bhagavatam. And Srimati Morarji said, I like to listen Bhagavatam. So if you can manage to come to Mumbai, at that time Bombay, if you can come to Bombay, then I can listen Srimad Bhagavatam from you. So time to time, Srila Prabhupada would visit Bombay also, and he would visit Srimati Morarji, and he would read Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimati Morarji would listen. In this way, there was a very nice divine relationship with Srimati Morarji. And when his sponsorship letter was ready, passport, visa, everything was ready, he met Srimati Morarji in Mumbai and told, I want to go to America. Can you, because she was the owner of Scindia Ship Company. So can you give me a free ticket to go to America? So then Srimati Morarji said, no, you are like my father. You are very old. I don't want you to go to America and die there. You are very old. America is too cold. You cannot survive in America's cold weather. So Prabhupada said, I don't want to survive. I want to follow the order of my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj ordered me to go to preach in the West in English language. So if you really consider me as your father, as a father, I am ordering you, please give me a free ticket. So then Srimati Morarji, she was inspired and she granted one free ticket in her Jaladut ship, which was not passenger ship. It was, I think, cargo ship. So then she granted, okay, she gave a free ticket. You can board from Kolkata. So then Prabhupada was very happy. He came to Kolkata. He visited Mayapur. He offered obeisances to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Samadhi, asked his final blessing for going to the West and preaching there. He also visited Advaita Acharya's temple in Shantipur, asked blessing from Advaita Acharya. In this way, he was completely depending on the mercy of Panchatattva. He was completely depending on the mercy of his Guru Maharaj. So, with Jaladuta, he started, on Friday, August 13th, 1965 at 9 a.m. He boarded on Jaladuta. His son accompanied him up to Jaladuta. His son told that he gave me 40 rupees. So it is a little doubtful whether Srila Prabhupada carried 40 rupees with him to America. Because when his son went to Jaladuta to meet him, so Prabhupada took 40 rupees from his pocket and gave to his son. So anyway, so on the journey, he had 2 heart attacks. At the age of 70, he got 2 heart attacks. And Prabhupada said, if I have the third heart attack, I'll die. I cannot tolerate the third attack. Somehow or other I survived 2 attacks, 2 heart attacks. But if I get third heart attack, I will surely die in the middle of the ocean. Anyway, at that time he saw Krishna came along with all the incarnation. He saw Vamandev, he saw Narasimhadev, he saw Prabhupada, saw all the 10 incarnations. Krishna is present with all his incarnations and blessed Prabhupada. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Go to the West, everything is ready. You just go and preach. I made all arrangements for your preaching. Don't worry. In this way, Krishna gave him solace and he became pacified. And very quickly, without any medicine, without any doctor, he became cured. And Prashant Mahasagar, Atlantic Mahasagar became very peaceful. Mr. Pandey was the captain of the ship. He told, in my whole life, I have never seen Atlantic Ocean so peaceful. It was Krishna's arrangement. By Krishna's desire, Atlantic Ocean became peaceful. Otherwise, if Atlantic Ocean would take its original feature, then it would be difficult for Prabhupada to tolerate. Maybe he would get another heart attack. So anyway, on 17th, after 37 days of journey, on 17th September 1965, Srila Prabhupada appeared. Srila Prabhupada came to America in Boston. So from Boston, although he had 2 heart attacks, he did not think for going to the cardiologist. He was thinking, he could not understand whether to go left or right. Just he came down from the ship and he could not understand where to go. So at that time, some representative from traveler agent came and told, we are sent by Mr. Agarwal, Arun Agarwal, that son of Mr. Agarwal from Vrindavan. So we have to take you to Arun Agarwal's house. So Prabhupada went to Arun Agarwal's house. He stayed there for some days. He was not a burden anywhere. He was cooking for them. Prabhupada was cooking for Arun Agarwal and his family. So they are very happy because Prabhupada was a very good cook. Very good cook. So Arun Agarwal and his family were very happy to receive prasadam cooked by Srila Prabhupada. They are very lucky. So after some days, he was staying there for some days only because he came with a mission. He cannot stay in Arun Agarwal's house for a long time. But near Arun Agarwal's house, there is a garden. In that garden, he was giving discourse, Bhagavad class every day. And there are many people coming to listen. And he also gave some advertisement in newspaper. That a Swami has come from India with the mission of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this way, he started preaching. But very soon he left Arun Agarwal's house and he found the ashram of Mr. Mishra in Mayavad. There was a Mayavadi preacher, Mr. Rammurti Mishra. And Prabhupada went there. He started cooking there also. But the only problem was that Rammurti Mishra was a Mayavad. Whenever Prabhupada would speak about Krishna, Rammurti Mishra would not tolerate. So he would try to suppress Prabhupada. He would tell his students, Rammurti Mishra had Hatha Yoga students, many Hatha Yoga students. He was a teacher of Hatha Yoga. So he would tell his students, the Swamiji will sing something. He would never give any chance to Prabhupada to speak on Krishna. But whenever Rammurti Mishra would tell that Swamiji would sing, then Prabhupada would sing about Krishna. So anyway, singing or speaking, Prabhupada was always absorbed in Krishna's thought. So Rammurti Mishra did not like it, and Srila Prabhupada also did not like it, because he is a Mayavadi. So Srila Prabhupada very soon left the association of Rammurti Mishra and came to New York. And then Bauri, from from New York, Bowery. Actually, Ramamurti Mishra's residence was also in New York. First, Prabhupada was in Ramamurti Mishra's quarter. Then he came to Ramamurti Mishra's Hatha Yoga Center. Then he came to Bowery. So before that, he lost his tape recorder. Tape recorder was lost, which was very important for him for printing and typing. So Prabhupada was a little unhappy. Then finally from Bowery, he came to 26 2nd Avenue. 26 2nd Avenue. Some of his followers, some of his fans, when he was in Ramamurti Mishra's Hatha Yoga Center, at that time, some of his followers, some of the followers of Ramamurti Mishra also became attracted to Srila Prabhupada. So they told, okay, my dear Swamiji, at the time they would call Prabhupada Swamiji. Dear Swamiji, don't worry, we will rent a small stall in 26 2nd Avenue. It is called Matchless Gift. It was a gift shop, Matchless Gift. So it was rented, and the rent, electricity bill, everything was given by some of his followers, some of his fans, Prabhupada's fan, like Michael. There was a boy called Michael. So they were ready to bear all the expenditure of Matchless Gift. So then Prabhupada went there to the Matchless Gift. It was a storefront, a very small shop. Then Prabhupada turned into it as a temple. And some of his followers asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, can we remove this signboard, Matchless Gift? Prabhupada said, no, don't remove this signboard. We have come here to give Matchless Gift. Krishna consciousness is matchless. Nothing can match with Krishna consciousness. So we are really giving Matchless Gift. So don't remove the signboard. After some time, Prabhupada also wrote a book called Matchless Gift, which is recently translated into Bengali and other languages. And in that Matchless Gift, Prabhupada established ISKCON officially. He registered through government of America, registered ISKCON with 7 purposes. If I read all these purposes, I cannot complete within an hour. So then he was struggling for 1 year. Prabhupada was struggling for 1 year. Finally, some of his followers took initiation. 11 of American boys and girls took initiation from Srila Prabhupada. Among them was also Michael. And Michael's friend was, at that time, he was not sannyasi at that time. He wanted to marry, and Prabhupada, he organized his marriage, Michael's marriage. Prabhupada was cooking himself for the marriage feast. An old man, 69 years old, 70 years old at that time. Prabhupada cooked for Michael's marriage. He did the fire sacrifice for Michael's and Janaki's marriage. And he cooked different varieties of delicious food, prasadam. And he distributed food. And after distribution, he cleaned all the pots. There was nobody to help Prabhupada for cooking, for cutting vegetables, for cleaning pots, for distributing prasadam. Prabhupada was doing everything, all service himself. So this is Prabhupada's lesson from his life. We can understand 2 things. One is giving time. He was giving time in the beginning of ISKCON. He was giving so much time to his followers. Of course, when ISKCON became very large, he could not give so much time because he had to give time for management. He had to give time for writing books. He could not give time to so many disciples. So much time he could not give. But in the beginning of ISKCON, one disciple wrote, I was reading, one disciple wrote, when I used to meet Prabhupada and would talk to him, it seems to me that he has unlimited ocean of time. He doesn't have scarcity of time. He is ready to speak whole day and whole night with me. So that was Prabhupada's mood, giving time and giving service. In Michael's marriage at that time, Mukunda Prabhu. Mukunda Prabhu and Janaki's marriage, Prabhupada was cooking, Prabhupada was cleaning pot, Prabhupada was distributing prasadam himself with his own hand. So he was giving service, he was rendering service, he was giving time to his followers. So these are the two principles of preaching. Give time to those who are interested in Krishna consciousness and give service, render service. That was Prabhupada's mission in the beginning. Of course, when ISKCON became large, he formed GBC. He formed GBC so that his management activity can be distributed to different persons. But in the beginning, Prabhupada was everything. He was managing from cooking to cleaning. He was managing everything. So anyway, then when he initiated 11 disciples, he took all of them to Tamskin Square Park. There is still a tree called Hare Krishna tree. Under the tree, Prabhupada started first Harinam Sankirtan in the park, where all the hippies are going there in Tamskin Square Park. And when they heard Harinam Sankirtan, they are all drunkard and marijuana smoker, ganja smoker. But when they heard nice mridanga playing and Prabhupada's nice tune of Hare Krishna, so they came and started dancing by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. They came and started dancing. And Prabhupada invited them. I have a center in 26 2nd Avenue. All of you come to my center every Sunday. We distribute prasadam. We organize love feast. So please come to 26 2nd Avenue. Master's gift is there. So please come and take prasadam lunch with us every Sunday. In this way, he invited all the hippies. And all the hippies, they actually, although they are sons and daughters of rich people, they were vagabond. They are lying under a tree. They did not have regular food also. So they would come to see Swamiji in 26 2nd Avenue, and they would listen Srimad Bhagavatam discourse, and they would take lunch in Sunday feast. In this way, some of them became interested in Krishna consciousness, and the number of Prabhupada's fans was increasing. So at that time, Prabhupada wanted to go back to India. And of course, before that, Prabhupada completed writing the commentary of Bhagavad Gita as it is. That was in America. He completed, and eventually he printed with the help of Macmillan Company. He printed Bhagavad Gita as it is in 1971 May, in the month of May. Bhagavad Gita as it is was ready. After that, Prabhupada came back to India, and he came back with Kirtanananda, one sannyasi. At that time, he was a sannyasi. So Prabhupada came to Vrindavan. He stayed there for some days because his visa was expired. So he came in Vrindavan for some days. Then again he went back to America. This time he came back by flight, went back by flight. His followers organized everything. So after going there, or before that, when Prabhupada was coming to India, Mukunda Prabhu told Prabhupada, can I accompany you to India? So Prabhupada told, no, you go to Los Angeles and open a second center, another center of ISKCON there. So Mukunda Prabhu was happy to receive that order, and he went to Los Angeles. Some or other, by Krishna's mercy, he started another center in Los Angeles. So when Prabhupada came back from India after 1 year, so Mukunda Prabhu invited Prabhupada. So from New York to Los Angeles, Prabhupada again by flight. He again went to Los Angeles. And there he found another 24 hippies who are ready for initiation. So Prabhupada again from 11, first time he gave initiation to 11 young boys and girls. And second time in Los Angeles, first time initiation was in Master's Gift. Second time initiation was in Los Angeles. He initiated 24 disciples. And he conducted Ratha Jatra festival in Los Angeles. First time Ratha Jatra in the West. He established DT of Radha Krishna in Los Angeles. Also Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, because Ratha Jatra was there. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra deity there. And from there he sent some of his disciples to Canada, Montreal. And those devotees who from Los Angeles came to Montreal, Canada, they also became successful by Krishna's mercy. They opened another center in Montreal. Prabhupada visited Montreal and it became the third center of ISKCON. In this way, from one center in 26 Second Avenue, then second center in Los Angeles, third center in Montreal. Then he sent some of his disciples to West Virginia, Kirtanananda Swami at that time. So there they managed to have 2,000 acres of land, and they are thinking what to do with these 2,000 acres of land. Prabhupada visited there and Prabhupada told there are 7 hills, and in each hill there will be one temple. In this way, Prabhupada encouraged them, and really they became successful and occupied these 2,000 acres of land, and they established Prabhupada Palace there in West Virginia, Golden Palace. Still today, it is one of the most favorite tourist spot in America. So then, in this way, again from there, he asked some of his disciples to go to London. He sent 6 of his married disciples, Grihastha disciples to London. They made friendship with. I am running because if I narrate in details, I cannot finish. Prabhupada's first times are unlimited, and within 1 hour, how much I can tell. But anyway, he sent 6 of his Grihastha disciples to London. They made friendship with George Harrison. Prabhupada visited London. He met with George Harrison, and George Harrison was so much enamored, so much attracted to Srila Prabhupada's personality. That interview I was hearing that interview, very nice interview with George Harrison. Prabhupada knew that George Harrison is a world famous singer. But Prabhupada himself was singing in front of George Harrison. He was singing Krishna Bhajan, he was singing from Srimad Bhagavatam sloka verses. He was with a very nice tune. He was singing, and as a singer, George Harrison understood that he is very nice. He is also a very nice singer. Prabhupada is a very nice singer. George Harrison appreciated. And then George Harrison became a fan of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada asked him to sponsor for printing Krishna book. Prabhupada thought that I may die anytime, so I must summarize the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, essence of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam before my death, before I leave my body. So then he summarized the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the form of Krishna book, he wanted to print it, and he requested George Harrison to print it. And George Harrison happily sponsored the printing expenditure of Krishna book. And not only that, he also wrote the introduction of that Krishna book. You can see George Harrison wrote the introduction with his signature. Then George Harrison himself volunteered to donate his own house. He had many houses, but one house was a very big house. That is Bhaktivedanta Manor. Later on, this became the main ISKCON center in London. So everything was arranged by Krishna. Through George Harrison, everything was arranged by Krishna, that he got a very nice place in London, Bhaktivedanta Manor, which was actually a house of George Harrison. And then George Harrison published Hare Krishna cassette. Although George Harrison was world famous singer, but it is written that his other songs are not so popular. When he published Hare Krishna song, it became so popular overnight that millions of people purchased his cassette. In this way, George Harrison became famous and more famous, and Hare Krishna mantra became like household affair. Everybody came to know Hare Krishna mantra from George Harrison's cassette. So in this way, preaching by Krishna's mercy, preaching was flourishing. Then Prabhupada formed GBC because ISKCON became worldwide center, ISKCON became worldwide society. So for managing such a huge, such a vast society, Prabhupada formed GBC, he established BBT for printing his own books. Then Prabhupada, he got 5 acres of land in Mayapur. Then he started preaching in India. Also in the meantime, he went to Russia for one time. And he initiated one Russian boy, Ananta Shanti. Ananta Shanti, the name of that Russian boy. I mean, Prabhupada gave initiation and gave spiritual name, Ananta Shanti. From that one disciple in Russia, later on, millions of Russians became Krishna devotees. Started from one disciple, Ananta Shanti. Everything is Krishna's arrangement. So in this way, Prabhupada, he was successful, although he visited Russia only for one time. But he became successful by initiating one disciple. That is Krishna's blessing, Guru's blessing. Then he started Gurukula system of education in Dallas and Texas, in Mayapur and many other places. He started Gurukula system. Then Gurukula system of education. Then he established Bombay Temple, Mumbai Temple and Vrindavan Temple. Mumbai Temple, there was a very big struggle. There was a very hard fighting, court fighting, court case, so many things. Even the Gundas and Mastan, they were trying to disturb our devotees. Anyway, Prabhupada became victorious in establishing Mumbai Temple. Now if you go to Juhu, Mumbai, very nice temple is there. And if you want to see the struggle, you can see our serial called Abhay Charan. Abhay Charan serial published by, made by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. He very nicely, he narrated that story of Mumbai struggle. If you want to see that, you can watch from Abhay Charan serial. Then Prabhupada published Chaitanya Charitamrita. He wrote 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita in 18 months. Then he asked his disciple to print it. So disciple told it will take few years to print. Prabhupada said, how come? I completed writing in 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita. I completed writing in 18 months. So writing takes more time than printing. It is mathematical. Writing takes more time than printing. So if I can write 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita in 18 months, you can print it in 2 months. Prabhupada said, you can print it in 2 months. They are thinking to print it for years. They told it will take few years to print it. Prabhupada said, no, I order you to print it in 2 months. And disciples, they have given their heart to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said 2 months, we will do it in 2 months. So whole night they are working. Whole night they are working on printing Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in 2 months, they not only completed printing Chaitanya Charitamrita, the printing was very first class. Even today we don't get that printing. I managed to collect one printing, original printing of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Paper was excellent, royal quality paper. Printing was royal quality paper. There was no mistake in printing. So nicely they had done in 2 months. This is called Guru Bhakti. And Prabhupada empowered his disciples to complete 17 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita to print in 2 months. He empowered his disciples and they were successful. Chaitanya Charitamrita, one of the most important Vaishnava literature, was published. How much active Srila Prabhupada was. He was meeting with GBC, he was meeting with VIPs, he was traveling throughout the world 14 to 15 times. Day and night he was in traveling. He was busy meeting his disciple, instructing his disciple, writing letters to his thousands of disciples. Even his letters, there are 6 volumes summarized in 3 volumes, big volumes of letters. Prabhupada Nectar or Prabhupada, I think there is some special name of letters. Prabhupada published, now from ISKCON they have published 3 volumes of Prabhupada's letters. Prabhupada was writing letter, meeting with VIPs, traveling throughout the world. It is impossible to understand how he completed Srimad Bhagavatam, how he completed Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and other many small books, especially masterpiece like Srimad Bhagavatam, like Chaitanya Charitamrita. It shows how Srila Prabhupada had complete devotion within his heart. Then Prabhupada opened Vrindavan temple, the Mumbai temple. In Vrindavan temple, he invited governor of Uttar Pradesh, and he met Indira Gandhi also. Prabhupada was all the time, he was busy with meeting VIPs. Then Prabhupada established Bhaktivedanta Institute for preaching to the scientific community. Then he established Food for Life food relief program of ISKCON, which is even today it is running successfully in Mumbai and in many other places of the world. It is running very successfully. Food for Life, Akshay Patra, that is running very successfully. So Prabhupada did so many things for us within a very short time. Time was short, but he did tremendous service to the world, to the humanity. So it is by Prabhupada's mercy that today we are speaking, today we are meeting, and Mayapur is growing like anything. We have seen Prabhupada, the last plan was Vedic Planetarium Temple. He ordered Ambarish Prabhu to contribute to construct Temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur, where he wanted to show the Vedic planetary system as described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada did so many things. Even whole life, if you narrate, whole life you cannot complete Prabhupada's contribution, what he has done. But after doing all these things, he was very humble. He would tell everything, all credit goes to my Guru Maharaj, and all credit goes to my disciples. I have no credit. My only credit is that I tried to satisfy my Guru Maharaj. I tried to follow my Guru Maharaj to the letter. Otherwise, I don't have any credit. All credit goes to my Guru Maharaj's mercy, and all credit goes to my disciple. So upper side, he gave credit to his Guru Maharaj. Lower side, he gave credit to his disciples. For himself, he did not keep any credit. He did the highest service. He did so many things for which ISKCON is established for next 10,000 years. And it is growing and growing. Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted that within next 10,000 years, all other religion will merge into the ocean of Vaishnava religion like small rivers. Just like small rivers are merging into ocean, all the religion of the world, they will merge into Vaishnava, in the ocean of Vaishnava religion within coming 10,000 years. And Srila Prabhupada is our Shanapati Bhakta. His name is mentioned in scripture also. That the Shanapati Bhakta will come. The commander-in-chief will come to establish Krishna consciousness throughout the world for next 10,000 years. So I'd like to stop here. Srila Prabhupada left his body in Vrindavan, and now in Vrindavan there is his original Samadhi, and in Mayapur we have Pushpa Samadhi. At 3:30 p.m., 14 November 1977, Srila Prabhupada left his body, and after that his original Samadhi was built in Vrindavan, very beautiful Samadhi, and Pushpa Samadhi is built in Mayapur, and now the construction of Vedic Planetarium is going on, and very soon within 2024 there will be inauguration of Temple of Vedic Planetarium, and after that the whole world will be inundated, flooded with Krishna consciousness. We are very lucky that we have got chance to participate in this movement. Our human life is very, very important. Sometimes we forget, we don't understand how important the human life is. There is a story that Newton wrote so many books. One day, his dog, Diamond, one day, at the time Newton was using some candle. He lit a candle and he went to the bathroom, and when he came back, he saw his dog Diamond jumped on the candle, and candle fell on the books, and all books are burnt. All books of science and great knowledge are burnt. So then Newton told to that dog, my dear Diamond, we do not know what you have damaged. You don't know. Sometimes I think we have got this rare gift of human life. We have got rare gift of Srila Prabhupada's wisdom, but we are like Diamond of Newton. We don't know what damage we are doing to our life. We don't know what we are missing. If we have little understanding, we must value gift of Srila Prabhupada. We must value Krishna consciousness, and we must lead our life like a good human, sane human, not like a dog like Diamond. Thank you very much. If you have any question or comment, we can try to answer.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I have no words actually to express our gratitude. So anybody ask any question, please quickly ask. Vishnu Prabhu, Disha Mataji, anyone want to ask, please ask quickly.
Sure, Prabhuji. I'll go with my question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Many Dandavat pranams to you. I'm very grateful for your lecture. So one question I had in mind is, so I was very amazed by your accomplishments and your credentials. So I just want to know personally, like any devotee of Prabhupada or anybody inspired you to achieve all this. And another thing is how to systematically study Prabhupada's biography. I have Leelamrita at home. So I have some other books of Prabhupada at home, but still I'm not able to systematically get the descriptions of Prabhupada's biography so that I get inspired more and more, because if I'm in touch with Prabhupada's biography, I go very high and inspired so much. But then when some days I don't read Prabhupada's biography, the enthusiasm fades away. So how did you develop this much detailed and descriptions of Prabhupada's biography? And I want to know your secret. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your question and comment. Actually, Prabhupada's biography is very vast, and I just asked the essential points. It is nothing. If you read Prabhupada's Leelamrita, it is much more details. So, yeah, reading Prabhupada's Leelamrita, reading, now there is a library on Prabhupada. Different disciples of Prabhupada, they publish book. His Holiness Bhakticharu Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, Brahmananda Swami, then Mukunda Maharaj. Everybody wrote on Prabhupada. There is a big library on Prabhupada now. Many disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they wrote book, published book. So if you can collect all these books, and you can try to read one by one after another, just like Mukunda Maharaj published Miracle on 22nd Avenue. There's a very nice book published by Mukunda Maharaj. Very, very nice first time there. All of his disciples are trying to publish books on Prabhupada. So if you can try to manage to read those books, and also reading Prabhupada Leelamrita, which is like Mahabharata, very big book, then of course we will get some glimpse of Prabhupada's life. And today, whatever discussion I have done, it is only a summary study. It is a summary study from some small book. So summary study is also needed, because summary, if you can keep summary in your memory, at least you know the gist of Prabhupada's life. And regarding, I did not understand your first comment that you told that something about my achievement or something. I have zero achievement. I am every day crying to achieve something from this Krishna consciousness movement. It is the greatest gift of my life. But to utilize this gift, practically speaking, it is my greatest lamentation that I got the highest gift, and just like I told the story of the dog of Newton, he could not understand the value of those books. He jumped on a candle and the books are burned. So Newton told, my dear Diamond was the name of the dog. My dear Diamond, you don't know what great damage you have done. Similarly, we got the greatest, highest gift of Prabhupada. ISKCON is the highest gift in our life. I'm telling about myself. We don't understand the value of this gift. Value of this gift. So we should pray to Prabhupada. We should pray to Krishna, so that we can try to value the gift of Prabhupada. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Dandavat pranams to you. Thank you.
Dhanyavad.
Prabhuji, one query from my side is that for Harinam Diksha, that is 1933, you told that what is the name given after Harinam and Brahman Diksha, like Abhay Charan De. So what name has been given to him?
Abhay Charanaravinda was actually Prabhupada got Harinam Diksha and Brahman Diksha together. And so at that time his name was Abhay Charanaravinda Das.
Okay,
Charanaravinda,
Abhay Charanavinda Das.
Abhay Charanaravinda Das. Then
Okay,
when he
okay.
took sannyas, then
Ha.
Krishna Kripa Srimurti Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada
Okay.
was not, it was not given by anybody, but it was given by his disciple.
Yes. So full name after sannyas is A.C. Bhaktivedanta
Krishna
Swami.
Kripa Srimurti Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami.
Swami. In 1959, you told already. 1959 in Mathura Gaudiya Math. Okay. So Disha Mataji, any question, or Kakun Mataji, any question?
Question or comment also?
So we can wrap up soon. Disha Mataji, Kakun Mataji.
Jain Prabhu, if you don't mind, I have another question. If I'm allowed.
Yes, please ask quickly.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji, so I know that Prabhupada struggled a lot to establish different temples, especially after the San Francisco temple, like all over the world, London temple, Mumbai temple, Vrindavan temple, and each struggle itself is a big pastime, and so many descriptions are there, Prabhuji. So I'm just curious to request you that we want to hear more in future from you, like any other pastimes of Prabhupada as well. So just wanted to know from your side, so we can just request you in future as well, like especially Mumbai temple or Vrindavan temple pastimes from Prabhupada Leelamrita, so that we can relish more Prabhupada's pastimes in future from you.
If Krishna desires, Krishna permits.
Yes, we request Prabhuji to come again and again and again. And Prabhuji is the inspiration to all, like including me. So he inspires a lot from beginning until now. He inspires and help also with many advices. So he's a very helping hand. So we wrap up now, Prabhuji. It is 2044, so 8:44. So we request you to come again and again, Prabhuji. So our humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Mancha kalpatarubhascha kripa
Sindhu evacha.
Patitanang
Nam Pavanebhyo Vishnavedbhyo Namo Namo.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava.